Hello, everyone.
G'day, Tex and Ads here with you for UTG Market Update. Thanks for stopping by. For all things that we do here, make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on those notifications, because this
Absolutely.
market is well and truly heating
Yep.
up. And as we've been
Yep.
saying inside the Discord, it's okay to be on the sidelines, but don't be sidelined for too long because things are really heating up. And we're at a pretty important point now for BTC, especially if we go out to the daily time frame quickly. Let's do a little bit of a macro overview of BTC. As we've been talking about inside the Discord, we had these previous highs and we really kind of had this rising formation where we expected this break above that previous high around 44K level. But you can see we're really just being held back now by this 78 fib right before we head towards what is a pretty decent, let's psychological level for a lot of traders. We know those big round numbers at 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, ultimately $100,000 BTC play quite a bit of psychological importance to a lot of traders. And I feel we can just get at that point, then we're off to the races and back towards, potential new all-time highs. It won't be a rocket by any means, where it's a slow grind, but that's a pretty important point, Az. Would you agree that 50, 52K supply zone is going to be an important one for BTC and
The
the
most
overall
important. The
market
most
strength?
important right now,
Yeah,
without
totally.
a doubt. Without a doubt.
Yep. Yep. And we can see that because that really was the last serious, top that we had before we made our way back down towards that 32K bottom, which we know was, we front ran ultimately this demand zone. But that's just the reason why this is a very important zone right now for BTC. So on the smaller time, I guess on the daily time frame, we can see that if we are looking at our steamroller indicator, we are getting towards the top of that zone. Our RSI still has a little bit of room to move to the upside before we retest this 70 top parallel channel. So I think at the moment it can kind of go either way. I personally am still anticipating a pop up towards at least that 50K zone and the sort of the bottom of this supply zone, where I would anticipate a rejection from that level. I don't think we're going to go vertical through that level, or at least if we do, we may even look to see a blow off top and then probably a sharp rejection, where ultimately we would like to hold that level. But again, I don't think it's going to be, fireworks and rockets through that level personally.
And I tend to agree, to be honest. Really comes down to... Sorry, I'm just adjusting my microphone because it's a bit loud. I don't think it's going to be a crazy run-up even if we do, get some formation into this level. In respect to that, because we've got the 52 mark, as Ty did mention, and the only thing apart from that is when we do move through it, or if we do move through it, we might not, but if we do, we've got a significant amount of volume in that area. We did trade in this area for quite some time and make quite a bit of volume to really head through. And of course, if we do move through 52, the most notable area for me is then 62. So then there is another level or another amount of volume required to get us there. But in the general sense, I think 50K is achievable. And I think it is achievable in the sense of our oscillators, being around that overbought condition as well. And then, lining up with the 88.6 Fibonacci is just the icing on the cake for me. Of course, if you look on a lower time frame, you could say that we are flagging up at this point. And I tend to agree with that. That would then give us, some legs or momentum to move to the upside. And, even if we did have a very, very small movement to the upside from here, you're looking at around a $3,000 swing, and it wouldn't cause the oscillators to move into the terribly overbought territory. It would, still keep it at a relative level where we could finally make a decision, Ty.
Yeah, and for the case of the bulls, I'd love you to put on our Unicorn indicator, because where we sit right now is basically exactly what we kind of said. Yeah, and we don't say this to toot our own horns. We're just giving you the facts, and we said that when we came up and we were looking for that yearly open around that sort of 46K level where we broke through, and we said what we were anticipating was a move to the upside, a retest of this 200 MA, or at least this MA cluster as low as 44, let's say 44.3, I guess, kind of was the zone that we spoke about. And as long as we can hold that area and maintain this momentum above this 200 moving average, which we can see is very significant in terms of acting as a level of support, acting as a level of resistance as we break above it. And we know the 200 MA, if you have watched our moving averages video, gives us historically the most amount of trading data based on the 200 periods beforehand. So that's a lot of data there telling us that once we break above that area, we're in some pretty firm bull territory. So I think as long as we hold this and we stay above that level, or at least this 44K level, I think we're still in a healthy territory for BTC at this point, ads.
And I do agree with that. In terms of the formation that you did point out before, we've got, of course, upwards direction, upwards momentum, and of course we did make a higher high. So if we did, like Ty said, hold the line, keep that momentum, or keep that market structure in the ascending pattern, of course the 50K can be on the cards, and certainly probably will be on the cards if that holds true over the next, probably few days. I think probably 4 or 5 days, into the start of next week, seeing that we're on a macro. Yeah. I think Ty has taken a break.
Oh, sorry. No, my bad. I haven't if we, I was talking to myself and I'm thinking, why the hell is he going down to the 4-hour time frame? So if we do go down to the 4-hour time frame, and we sort of look a little bit more locally at where it stands, perhaps if we just do take off Unicorn just at this point as well. And this is the power of really simplifying things. And we're not always like your trend line trader sort of guys, but when you trade the trend line like that, we've had some nice little dips where we've been able to buy directly off trend a couple of times, and we did have a little bit of a fake out there, but again, this is where the power of utilizing another tool like Fibonacci comes into play as well, to sort of highlight again those levels of support and resistance. So even if you are buying off the trend, you may be then looking to buy off a significant Fibonacci level, which is this golden pocket zone, or above this golden pocket zone where we sit right now. So locally, as long as we can sort of hold this level, I think we're okay for the moment. But let's just see what transpires over the next day or so. We know that tomorrow is Wednesday here in Australia. As it comes towards Thursday, we often start seeing a little bit of volatility in the market. So it's always good to be cautious around that midweek point, because we know that more than 50% of the time the midweek volatility presents itself. So we've got to be cautious as we start approaching that 50K level. There is still we account for every eventuality, and that could be that we may front run that 50K zone. I don't think that will be the case, but certainly you need to be mindful, looking for levels of weakness as we approach that pretty significant supply zone, to understand where your trades may lie from there. But as we've said so many times, for you guys, if you are bullish on the market, the best thing that you can do 9 times out of 10 is just jump into a high liquidity coin, whether it be BTC or ETH if you're an inexperienced trader, and just let it ride. Yeah. Don't sell it. Don't buy it. Buy more on dips if that's what you choose to do. We're not telling you what to do, but certainly a buy and hold strategy is often more profitable than trying to jump in and out every swing.
Absolutely agree.
All right, let's have a look at Ethereum. My favorite coin right now. I've been trading this pretty aggressively as of late. You can see that we've broken through this supply zone, and if we look left right now, there is quite minimal structure. Holding that back up towards sort of that, let's say that 375, 38 zone from here. And in my opinion, I think ETH will kind of show a little bit more strength than BTC if we're looking towards upwards sort of momentum. If we zoom out to the daily time frame and just again have a little bit more of a macro overview and put on our Unicorn indicator, which you can get by clicking the links below, by the way, you can see again, the moment that we broke above that 200 MA, things were looking pretty healthy. And can we just zoom out just a little bit, because I did make reference to something a little while back, whether it was on Ethereum or whether it was on BTC. It may have perhaps even been on BTC. So the example I'm giving you is completely redundant, so don't worry about it. But you can see that every time we've broken above our 200 moving average and that our unicorn has given us entry signals, there's been fireworks and we've had some really nice moves to the upside. Ethereum 2.0 chatter still going around. Will it be later this year? Will it be early next year? But certainly the catalyst for Ethereum growth upwards, I think, is still very much there. And a lot of people I'm seeing online, are bashing Ethereum. The gas fees are shit and the transaction speeds and all the blah, blah, blah. Ethereum was always going to have a place, in my opinion, and that's hence the reason why I trade it so heavily. But if we look historically, like I said, what our unicorn indicator has done since 2000 and 2000 and pretty much 2017, when the data from these charts was enough to give us a data, our unicorn indicator has been bang on. So, I'm not going to fade it. I'm certainly trading this right now aggressively.
And I recall that you did mention that in the Discord as well. So, 100%. Making everyone aware of it, of course, as per your style. So, very nice.
Yeah. All right, let's wind this up. Let's have a look at the total market cap and see where things at the moment. We know how important liquidity is for this market if we want to continue going up. We saw that Terra, who I believe are the founders of the Luna project, have bought 18,000 Bitcoin as of late. Michael Saylor's still gobbling them up quite aggressively. The institutional buying and the whale buying of tens of millions, billions of dollars of cryptocurrency is still very much there. So those are not the guys that you want to fade whatsoever. But again, as we head up towards this supply zone, we're starting to get a little bit sort of, wiki in and out of this area right now. And as we look to approach that supply zone, certainly, we could see a little bit of money being taken out of the market, people taking profits, the market cap pull back. But if you want to understand where the money is going and how the money is flowing in and out of this market, certainly be paying attention to the total market cap, including Bitcoin. So this is the entire market cap. This is not the market cap excluding Alter, excluding BTC. So we can see from our oscillators certainly starting to get to a little bit towards an overcooked zone. And what ads has done there has drawn from swing low to swing high. We know that the relevance of our 38 cannot be understated. We often see consolidations around the 23, but the 38 loves pullbacks. So I would not be surprised to see what ads has there on the screen at the moment.
Yeah, look, it coincides very nicely with a lot of the tops and a lot of the liquidity that we've seen to the left. Even if you want to draw in a horizontal line around 38, you could probably see the relevance of that on the left-hand side. Support resistance flips all the way across, liquidity sitting there. And of course, as you said, 38 is the most common in terms of a pullback on all time frames pretty much. And movement up to the negative 27 extension coincides very nicely with our pre-drawn level of supply. So that is a pretty typical pullback push scenario in my opinion.
Yeah, totally. And, maybe we'll just do one more quick squeeze at, I'm just going to have a quick look at your screen again. Let's just have one quick look at our BTC Dominance Chart as well.
Where are we? Here we go. Dominance chart falling, that really explaining a lot of the movements that we're seeing in some of the altcoins that have been discussed in the Discord. So looking okay, but currently on the 1 day time frame, I would be suggesting to pay attention to some of these levels of demand, more notably the one that we're at now. But of course, we do have this one here, which would probably be the area that I'd look towards, and of course validated by some of the left-hand side liquidity sitting there. So sitting on a point of support, very nicely lined up with our steamroller and of course RSI bouncing off the 30. So looking okay for a push up for BTC, and of course dominance does play a big part in how the market behaves, in the sense of if BTC regains some of its dominance, it doesn't necessarily mean BTC is going to move up or down, but it does necessarily mean that the pairs against BTC, so LTC, BTC, OMG, BTC, all the main pairings will tend to strip some value back and give it back to BTC.
100%. We know that historically, April, May have been very good trading months. We see that the alt sort of dominance is starting to increase now as well. The market cap BTC dominance pulling back a little bit, as Ad said. Time for alts to sort of have a go, and you really need to be on your game when it comes to these alts because they're quick. These flurries come, and I've been saying this for like 2 years now. Like, we don't have these alt seasons, we have these little alt storms where you get this tornado of alt movement and these flurries, and you go, oh shit, shouldn't I? Just have a go. Have a go, jump in. Don't trade too aggressively. Don't trade at leverage, for God's sake. Spot buys until you build up your confidence. We're looking now at Luna all-time highs. We're looking at AVAX approaching new all-time highs. We have NIA, which is absolutely exploding at the moment. Alameda Research, or Alameda's largest altcoin position as well. That's Sam Trabucco and Sam Bankman-Fried, who are trading the hell out of that at the moment. We've got DeFi projects like Sushi, Uni, Aave that are ready to want to have a go. DeFi projects definitely want to be looking at the moment. We've got Rune doing crazy things. ZEC, the privacy coins are having their go again as well. And we see that cycle where it goes high caps and then it goes back to micro caps, mid caps, back to high caps again. So you can start looking at your lower caps now, and then your other L1s, which are the ones to be watching. A great stable sort of ascending coin at the moment is BNB. It has just been chugging along, doing quite well, sitting around 455 last time I looked at it. And then, you've got your likes of when BTC starts to run, the likes of like your NEOs, your OMGs, your XLMs, your Thetas, or your LTCs that tend to do quite well as well. So, these are the times now where you need to have a little bit of a gamble, and that's why you need to be learning on your game to be able to capitalize on what's coming over the next 6 to 8 weeks, in my opinion.
If you want to get more of what Ty just mentioned, and of course, he's right into it in the sense of his altcoins and how he follows the market. The glasses that he puts on to look at this market is, unchallenged. So if you want to get involved, it doesn't cost you anything. Just visit the links down below. Look, we do this for free, and we do it because we wish we had it at the start. So get involved. Honestly.
Yeah, totally. All the links are below, guys. UnityTradingGroup.com. Type in just about anything, followed by UnityTradingGroup.com now, and there's a video or a guide for it. So, as I said, we do this because we like giving back to the community that's given us so much. And if you want to try out some of our indicators or some of the suites that we provide, cool. If not, jump into the Discord, ask us a question, and we'll show you how we trade very openly, and we'll keep doing so.
Exactly right, mate.
Legend. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. You can see that there's steadily more content coming from us. You can check out our VPVR volume profile indicator video that we released last night. Next week, once every Monday from now on, we will have a new guide of some sort, and keep following in for news and guides that will come throughout the course of the weeks as we continue on as well. So again, UnityTradingGroup.com, hit that subscribe button. We'll see you on the next market update.
See you guys in the next one.
Bye.